Yeah. Nah, I'm right here. We can go either side. I just don't want to be with a crowd. I wanted to be.
Welcome to another episode of medicinalmoves.com. Today is a pretty special episode. I'm really excited for this one. I'm expecting a lot of high level medical information as we have a medical expert today on our panel. I am joined by a PharmD candidate from the UNT School of Medicine, a young lady that has been in around medicine for close to 20 years, building a career in Dallas, Texas. She is Dr. Courtney Watkins.
I am not a doctor yet. Let's be clear here, guys. I am a PharmD candidate. I am a first-year pharmacy student. I do have a degree in nutritional sciences from Texas Tech University. But I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a licensed dietitian. I am not a pharmacist yet. I am a PharmD candidate. Class of 2029.
So I have a future doctor with me today, and we are going to be reviewing the pescatarian diet, pharmacists, and discussing personal trainers. I will jump right into the topic and be as considerate of everyone's time as possible. But Courtney, I really appreciate you making the time. I know that you have to be incredibly busy, and I want to start talking about what seems to be an emerging diet fad, the pescatarian diet. I don't know if you are familiar with it. Yeah?
Yeah. I'm on my third week of the pescatarian diet. First week was brutal. Eliminating those sugars and carbs and
Well,
everything.
we're going to talk about it. I didn't know that you were a pescatarian. It is a fad. It is a trend. It is blowing up, and I think you're going to educate me. You're going to tell me why this is so popular. So good on me. I got lucky. Third weekend. What made you want to do that? Why would you want to eat fish sticks forever?
Well, not necessarily fish sticks. You do want to eat seafood. So that includes fish, that includes shrimp. You can even throw in some lobster, different kind of fishes. But and you want to eat lots of leafy green vegetables, kale, spinach. I was drawn to this diet because I have a history of gut issues. My gut is not too happy when I have red meats and chicken. And, my dad was a vegetarian growing up. So I said, I can't go strictly vegan. I can't do that. But I can do the pescatarian thing because I am from Louisiana. I love me some seafood and I can eat shrimp all day long, honey. But I went to the doctor. My doctor said that my hemoglobin A1C was a 5.8, I believe, or 5.7. 5.7. 5.7 is pre-diabetic. So that wasn't good. I do take atorvastatin, which is for cholesterol. And my doctor said that my cholesterol levels have skyrocketed. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm on the medication. It should be low. It should be good. But no, my cholesterol has been high. My A1C, which is your sugar, has been high. What else? My sodium levels have been high. And I need to get that down. I am pushing 200 pounds. And I said, you know what? Let me stop. Let me just stop it right here. And I was like, no, doc. She tried to GLP-1s. We can talk about that too. But she tried to put me on a GLP-1 to get the weight down. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because not that I have anything against GLP-1s. I think they're great for people who need them. But I said no because I'm like, I can do this myself. I can get this weight off. And so I chose the pescatarian diet. Here I am, 3 weeks in.
You're the perfect person for this. I actually have a guide, and I would love for you to dissect it with me.
Okay.
This is actually an article that I wrote not too long ago to help anyone that is looking to transition to a healthier diet. This is pretty important for a lot of people, like I said, because I wrote this a couple of months ago. Actually, I wrote this in January, so 3 months ago. I noticed the trend, and
Uh-huh.
I suggested in phase one for people to audit and swap. I think that's kind of what you said you were doing. I told people to audit their habits and eliminate mystery meats because I am a personal trainer and I
Spam.
am very much. Go ahead.
A spam? Is spam a mystery meat? Is it called
Spam is
spam?
a mystery meat,
Ooh,
but deli meats as well. So I mean,
okay.
ham, turkey, processed meats. They're really high in salts. There are processed food, and we can do better. Uh, Raising our awareness is where we really get there. So yes, all the above. Auditing your habits and
Yeah.
eliminating those mystery meats is my phase one. I give you about half a week to get that done, and then start making some swaps.
Mhm.
For a midday meat, and instead of having a BLT or a hamburger, start to get into some tuna, some salmon salad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now
yeah,
we're
and get your absolutely and refocus and prioritize hydration. That's kind of
talking.
how I set it up on phase one. I have a
Yeah.
2 week pescatarian transition map, and those are days 1 through 4, and days 5 to 8 or
We
phase
want to
two.
emphasize that hydration, guys. Really
Tell
want
me
to
more.
emphasize that. We want to stay well hydrated, especially when you're going on a diet, a very strict diet.
Hmm.
Your body is almost in shock, and you don't want to put any more work on it than it's already experiencing. So, in order to combat that, you want to stay well hydrated and make sure you're getting, I forget what the daily amount is, don't quote me, couple liters.
Okay.
um, I'll have to get back to you on that number. But what's the number, babe?
I suggest people get about an ounce of water for every pound.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I do. So I don't know. I can also tell you from personal experience, you don't want to drink too much water
that is true.
because you can get a little too much.
Overhydrate. Yeah.
Yeah, but absolutely, I'm glad that you see it the same way. Days 5 to 8 or phase two is really where things start to ramp up with the process or protocol that I've written. That's where we really remove all red meat. That's all pork, all beef is gone by
Wrong.
day 8. Remove it, get it out of here, swap it
Get it
out.
out of your system.
Uh,
Your body is
yeah,
really going to go into shock mode, guys, because I will tell you within 7 days, I lost 7 pounds. That's not necessarily ideal. You want to aim for 1 to 2 pounds a week because what's going to happen is your body is going to shift into what's the mode called?
starvation mode. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not necessarily starvation mode, but it's already in shock mode, and your body
We
starts
specialize in weight loss here, so I mean,
yes,
if
your
you
body
just tell
starts
me
to
what,
trigger certain hormones.
yeah,
Your thyroid hormone, ghrelin, leptin, all of those hormones are going to be triggered when you go on a strenuous diet, and you
yeah,
don't want to do too much. You don't want to do too little. So you want to aim for 1 to 2 pounds a week, guys. Because if you lose weight too fast, too quickly, it's harder to keep that weight off because you are
right,
triggering a metabolism.
slump. Your basal metabolic rate
Yes,
gets too low too fast, right,
guys,
Doc?
I'm in my first year of pharmacy school. I don't know all the terms yet.
So, absolutely. I mean, I see it the same way, and doing too much too soon will
Right.
definitely prevent your body from going hypertrophic, where you're growing muscles. But we swap out all the red meat by day 8. We switch out all those heavy steaks for meaty fishes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be salmon, your ahi, probably even a little bit of that red snapper,
Yeah.
and absolutely, and getting more medicinal sides.
Fish in there. We live in Dallas and I love me some Mississippi catfish, honey.
Mm,
Mm,
okay. All
that's my
right.
favorite right now.
Yeah. Um, and getting those medicinal sides in there, kale and quinoa. I think you made mention of that, talking about how important those leafy green vegetables are because they
Yeah.
are absolutely critical. And if you survive those first 8 days, you can get to phase 3. I call this the poultry sunset.
Yes.
This is where you begin to phase out all those avian protein sources. You start to swap chicken and turkey for shrimp or even scallops or possibly the catfish you mentioned, more stir fries, and begin to focus and explore different white fish. Um, this is a beautiful phase. And by day 11, if you're wanting to really make that switch to a pescatarian lifestyle, I
Yes.
think it's critical.
Which is the best. I think, in my opinion, the pescatarian diet needs more eyes on it. People really need to start thinking about a pescatarian diet. It's good for your heart health, your cardiovascular health, your bone health. You're gonna get some really great omega 3s from your fishes, and I really think it's a great diet. You won't be lacking in anything really if you try this pescatarian diet.
And
It
you
is
know what I don't think we talk about enough? I'm so glad to have you because it's not just omega 3s. I mean, there's omega 6, omega 9, and getting the biodiversity. Yeah.
days, yeah,
Getting those different sources are ultimate for health.
right. With our day and age, with our generation, we want to make sure we have longevity is the key, guys. Longevity. People love to say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. No, honey, you got to get out of that mindset. We want to be here for a long time. And in order to be here for a long time, you have to invest in your health. Health is wealth.
I No one could state that any better. It really is about establishing a firm health line. I
Yes,
think people become very consumed in lifeline and make the assumption that a long lifeline has a decrease or some kind of a slump in quality of health. But diets like these are diets that really give you that upswing.
absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of people have been asking me why didn't I choose the Atkins diet or a ketogenic diet? Well, those just aren't for me. I've had two
Hmm.
colonoscopies. My first one was at the age of 25, and I don't want to do anymore. But unfortunately, I have to do them every 5 years now, because colon cancer does run in my family. So people have to realize that red meat is just not where it's at. I mean, it's going to give you that iron that you need. It's going to give you
Yeah.
that iron supplementation and the ingredients that you need from it and all the nutrients that you need from red meat, but it's not good for your gut, guys. It's really not. And people need, especially African Americans, we have got to get away from red meat. That's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
Heard. I think that as I've gotten older, I've gotten more comfortable, maybe relapsing towards the swine and steak.
Ah,
I know
you're a fine guy.
that I used to be really
Boo.
disciplined. I used to be really disciplined,
I have
but somewhere along the
had
line,
the swine or the pig, if no one knows what swine is. Swine is your pork meats.
mm,
Meats that come from a pig, guys. They're gonna be high in sodium. That's just it.
mm,
They're high in sodium. They are bad for you. They taste really, really good. But I have not had the swine since 2015.
wow,
Yeah.
that's powerful. Do you feel different without?
I don't feel any different. I feel cleaner, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But the pescatarian protocol that we've written up, we are at days 12 through 14. The final phase or phase four, that's full integration. That's 100% seafood and plant based. And I like to apply the rule of three: clean protein, healthy fat, complex carb, every meal.
Yeah.
So don't be a carbitarian. Don't focus on fish and greens. I think you said that immediately. Supplement wisely. Make sure you get that B12. You get that iron from beans and spinach, and
Hmm.
know that quality matters. I have one thing I want to end this on, and I want everyone to know: wild caught is what makes this diet powerful. Please stop buying farm raised fish. Stop buying fish that are incompetent in nature because they won't give you the biological benefit.
Yep.
Tilapia is my subject number one. Farmed salmon is example number two. There's farmed shrimp. Get wild caught. Identify what part of the country or world you're in and find the best source. Myself, I love Patagonian shrimp.
Mm.
Wild Patagonian shrimp is my favorite. I
Oh,
love
lobster.
Caribbean, Jamaican shrimp, lobster, seafood. It is for me. Pacific crab is a delicacy.
Hmm.
Taste the difference. Know the difference.
Hmm.
I'm done with that. I just really wanted to emphasize that, and even looking back at the plan, we have time for exploration. This is when you start to discover things like monkfish,
Hmm.
flounder, trout,
I hate
branzino.
trout. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean sardines. Everyone likes something different, right? These
Tuna. Tuna
mackerel.
is a really good option, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But there's so many different fish we don't really know. People eat their fish sticks. Some people only eat cod. People don't really understand the incredible biodiversity in our seas, oceans, lakes, and streams. So
Yeah.
please, if you don't take anything from anything else that we said, realize that there are so many minerals, vitamins, nutrients, medicine, and cures. They just have fins and scales. Um,
Little Nemo.
yeah. But if anyone gets a chance, definitely read the full article. We talk about the sexual health and emotional benefits, the hormonal benefits of this diet. It is so powerful. The cardiovascular benefits, and I'm sure as a medical student, you can appreciate the cognitive
Oh,
benefits.
yeah. The brain fog is slowly dissipating. I'm a little bit more focused in class and in my studies and in labs. On my rotations, I'm a little more focused than what I was 3 weeks ago. So I've got to give props to the pescatarian diet, honey. It is really doing it for me. My gut is happy, and
Mm.
people don't realize is if you have a happy gut, you have no other choice but to be happy in your mind, spiritually, physically,
Microbiome, second brain.
Right,
And the large benefit from being at peace in the microbiome, I'm sure you know, is the hormones, the serotonin that your body consistently and efficiently makes because it's a precursor for all of your other hormones.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, bro.
Um, but yeah, I'm glad that we got to touch bases on that pescatarian diet. I want to talk a little bit about pharmacists. Um, Pharmacists are critical. I don't think most people realize that the hub, the center of our allopathic system, for any Americans that are watching this, are our pharmacists.
Yeah.
It is what makes the whole wheel go. It is the spoke.
We still
Can you
need
talk a
doctors.
little bit more about that?
We
Say
still
that?
need doctors to write those prescriptions,
Of
but the
course.
problem is, and I'm trying to say this as nicely as I can. The problem is that doctors don't have the pharmacy or pharmaceutical training and knowledge that pharmacists have. Pharmacists get 3 years of pharmacotherapy, 3 years.
It's a
Doctors
lot.
get about 1 semester, I believe, is what I was told by a medical student this week. So that's a big
6 times the training for your
6
trade.
times the training in medicine, and I think that's so off. I would think that they would have more training, but they don't. They are trained to write those prescriptions, and we are to know about them and know the structure, the biology of them, and everything, the chemical aspects of them. We are expected to know every single thing, and not only that, but to catch their mistakes. So yeah, pharmacists are very needed.
I have a buddy who's a DO, and he brings up the fact that for medical doctors, everyone else does the heavy lifting. It's
Mhm.
kind of like they're a supervisor that doesn't understand everything at the plant because
Right.
they have so many moving pieces. So
Yeah.
I think that that's interesting how we've designed this system. Do you think that people understand how to use their local pharmacist effectively?
I don't think they do.
Mm,
One of the reasons I am becoming a pharmacist is because growing up, I had a very sick mother, and we got into a car accident when I was a very little girl. But um, it shaped me in ways that I never thought it would. And she didn't
mm.
have the guidance that she needed from doctors and from the pharmacists that she had, the pharmacies that we would go to when I was a little girl. And I would be
Right.
like her little pharmacist, take this pain medicine, 1 tablet every 4 hours or every 4 to 6 hours, mom. You can't have any more than that. And I don't think that people nowadays know that there are other options as opposed to narcotics. There's other options as opposed to your statin drugs. There's cinnamon, there's cholesterol lowering supplements. Like,
Oh,
people
yeah.
talk to their pharmacist enough to know their other options. So I'm here to advocate for everyone, and I have 3 more years left, and I just can't wait to be the best pharmacist there is out there.
Absolutely. And I think that's a very valid point. We have to merge all mediums. We have to really be on a united front with our medical, pharmaceutical, and supplemental teams. I think that is the ultimate picture of good health. Medicinalmoves.com, we thrive and strive to touch every corner.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to anything, and I want to make sure that I'm versed on, if not all things, many things,
yeah,
because that's what I think is really going to be the most productive for real health.
right.
Yeah. Awesome. And then personal trainers. I mean, or if there's anything, I don't want to leave anything on the bone with pharmacists, but do you think there's anything else that we need to share about pharmacy, pharmacists, or pharmaceuticals?
Um,
Because I know
no,
it's a vast topic.
no, not missing anything tonight.
And then personal trainers. I mean, we want to make sure that we are keeping our bodies healthy as well, because I don't think that enough of us really give credit to our physical health.
Right,
Disease is not to blame entirely for physical health, but fortifying your body with muscle, healthy bone, proper tissue is how we ward off illness and disease, and we extend that health line. I
right,
think that personal trainers are underutilized. I think that too many people are afraid of trainers. I think too many people use personal trainers the wrong way. I think people don't realize that, kind of like what you said, you started off in origin as a nutritional scientist.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let thy food be thy medicine.
Amen.
But yeah, utilizing personal trainers in your world, what does that look like?
Ooh. Um, well,
How would you ideally incorporate a personal trainer in someone's healthy lifestyle that has a primary care physician, a solid pharmacist in their life? How would one utilize a personal trainer to achieve optimal health?
you can utilize your personal trainer for encouragement, for motivation. Utilize that person who's gonna put you on that treadmill and tell you to keep going
Mm,
and not stop until you lose all that weight that the doctor told you to lose. So I think people should really, and if you can't afford a personal trainer, even just walking. People don't realize just getting outside and taking a walk, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, is going to be better than just sitting on the couch or sitting at your desk. It's going to be better than just sitting in the tub relaxing. Like, you have got to get movement, people. That is where our generation is failing. That is where the community is failing. We have got to get more movement in schools. There are a lot of kids that are obese and have mental issues and mental disorders early on, and they should be kids and happy and living life. And it's
right.
like, well, maybe if we change their diet, maybe if we get a little bit more active, we wouldn't have these issues that are arising today. So people have got to start using their personal trainers. They've got to get online. They've got to look up what I can do. Even just, we have weights in our home. You can put on little weights on your ankles and walk around the house. Just any little thing will help, and you have to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, recommissioning the body can be hard. We specialize in that at
Yeah.
medicinalmoves.com. We specialize in all ages from 8 to 80 plus. It truly is one lifetime in one body. We want to make sure that we are using it as effectively as possible and as long as possible. So I couldn't agree with that anymore. I definitely feel that people are intimidated by trainers, and it's not always about the price tag. There are so many free resources like medicinalmoves.com. There are so many resources that people have available to them. Their employers, local community gyms, schools. It's just
Walking
that
free.
there's some kind of a, yeah, there's just some kind of a pause that we give when it requires us to move. It's
Mhm,
just we get so careful
mhm,
when it comes time to build sweat equity. When it's time for movement, we always try to defer. And I think that if we lean into that instinct, when you know it's time to move, move like you said. Use some weights, go out for a walk,
mhm.
get consistency, and watch how everything changes.
I think the most important thing is listening to your body. You know your body best. You know your body better than anyone. So when I've gained 5, 8, 12 pounds, my body talks to me and it speaks loudly. And it's like, too much, girl. You've got to lose weight. You've got to get more movement. You got to limit your stress. And I hate when people say, reduce your stress. It's like, what? You know what I do for a living? I can't do that. So you
Right.
have to learn how to manage stress, because that's
Yeah.
going to manifest in your weight, in your gut, in your mind. So people have to
Absolutely.
listen to their bodies. Listen to your body, guys.
That's awesome advice. And just like you said, listen to your body because it screams when it's in pain, when it's uncomfortable, when it's unhappy. It's
Yeah,
very loud. And by that time, it may be too late.
might be too late. You don't want to get there.
No, never that.
Crime is
Is
around.
there anywhere that
Around.
people can follow your medical journey or anywhere that people can support you?
You can follow my journey on Instagram at myfarmdsis. It is my older sister, and she posts motivational videos and spiritual quotes and songs and scriptures. And not just for pharmacy students, but for all medical students, nursing students, uh, CNAs or pharmacy technicians, whatever program you're in, she's there to motivate you. You can follow my journey at myfarmdsis on Instagram.
I love it. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully, we can partner again and get some of this solid information out to the community.
Yes, thank you, Brian, for having me.
Till the next episode.
Good night.